Hello everyone, this is your friend SG and this is the second part of the fifth part of the React Interview Ready series where we are covering the React hooks. So in this series, we'll be covering all the questions that are asked in a React interview from you, and this is the second part of React hooks. If you haven't watched the first part where we discussed all the React hooks, go check it out. You can find the link in the description and the I button as well. Okay. In order to access the sheet, you can check out the link in the description. Sheets link is present there. Okay. So let's begin the video. We have covered two questions in the previous video. So if you haven't watched it yet, go check out the video first. Okay. So in this video, we'll be resuming from the third question. So what is the third question? How will you use useEffect hook as component did mount and component will unmount? So useEffect runs on every render. So basically it is a combination of component did update, component did mount and component will unmount. So from these three combinations, we only need two: component did mount and component will unmount. But we need them separately. How will we do that? So if we just add an empty dependency array in useEffect, it will run just once. So only when the component is mounted, and it will behave like component did mount. Okay. So this is the component did mount. Okay. The empty dependency array will act, if we pass the empty dependency array, then it will act as component did mount because no value is passed in the dependency array. So it will act as component did mount. And if we return a function inside the callback function of the useEffect hook, then useEffect will behave like component did mount, and it will perform all the necessary cleanups. Okay. So in the useEffect, if we return a function from here, then this useEffect will behave like component will unmount, and all the necessary cleanups that we want to do, all the side effects that we subscribe to do, and all the other things that we need to perform, they could be done inside this return function. Okay. So the next question is, what will happen if I use multiple useEffect hooks in my program? So we can use multiple useEffect hooks inside one single component. It won't cause any problem. Okay. useEffect hook is designed to handle only one concern. So we sometimes need more than one effect. Okay. Using multiple useEffect hooks not only improves the code's performance, but also makes it easier to maintain in future. See here, we have used three different useEffects. Now things might happen that based on different values, on different props, different states, we want different actions to be performed. Now we can't do that inside single useEffect. Okay. So we can use multiple useEffect hooks for that and pass the dependency array. So this will act as component did mount. This will work only when the value of the state value will change, and this will work only when the prop2 value has changed. Okay. These are three different React hooks performing different works at different time based on different dependencies. Okay. So we can use multiple useEffect inside a single component to increase the functionality. So the next question is, what is the use of refs and how to create them? Okay, let's see. Refs can be created in a functional component using the useRef hook. We have seen in the previous video that useRef hook provides us the references. For more detail, refer to that video. Okay. The useRef is a hook that allows to directly create a reference to the DOM element in the functional component. So here we can see that by using useRef hook, we have created this reference, and this reference is used to point to this div. Okay. By accessing element ref.current, we can get access to this div. Now there are two main uses of the refs. Okay. Accessing DOM elements that we have seen here, and the second one is focusing an input element. What does this mean? Here this ref is pointing to an input element, and inside useEffect hook, what we have done, we have focused on this particular input only. How? This ref.current.focus. So input ref.current points to this input, and dot focus will focus on this in particular input. Okay. And this is passed, an empty array is passed in this useEffect, so it will behave as component did mount. So once this particular component is rendered, that at that particular moment only, at its rendering only, it will point to the cursor will point to this particular input. Okay. So the next question is, what is the dependency array? What is a dependency array? Dependency array is the second argument that is passed in useEffect hook and many other hooks. We have seen that dependency array is passed. It is an optional argument. Okay. It is an array of dependencies that when changed from the previous render, will recall the effect function defined in the first argument, which will re-render the component again. We have seen that the values that are passed inside the dependency array, once those values are changed, the callback function, the function that is passed, it is again called. It is only called based on the value of dependency arrays. Okay, if those values are changed, then that function is called again, otherwise not. So this is what dependency array is. It is an optional argument. It is not necessary to pass dependency array, but it is a good practice to pass. This increases the functionality of the component. Okay. So with this we come to the last question. Differentiate between lifecycle methods and hooks. So lifecycle methods, they could only be defined inside a class component, we know, and React hooks, they are only defined inside a functional component. Lifecycle methods require a constructor for their initialization. Yeah, we know that. React hooks, they don't require a constructor for their initialization. We have seen that we don't need a constructor to initialize the React hooks. Binding with this is necessary in order to update the state if you are using the lifecycle methods. We know that if you are using a class component, then binding it with this keyword is necessary. Otherwise, we can't perform the state updates. But inside React hooks, using the useState, we can make the state changes without binding with this keyword. Okay. Some commonly used lifecycle methods are component did update, component did mount, component will unmount, etc. And the React hooks commonly used are useState, useEffect, useRef, etc. Okay. All the React hooks we have seen in the previous video, and we have seen the lifecycle methods before that. Okay. You can check out those videos as well. Stay tuned to the channel for more such videos. I have some amazing content planned for the future. Okay. Stay tuned to the channel for that as well. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comments. Okay. Thank you. This is it for this video. Thank you. Tata. Bye bye.